King Charles has said that the lack of vocational education in schools is a great tragedy, while appearing on a special edition of The Repair Shop on the BBC. Speaking to presenter Jay Blades, the monarch said not everybody is designed for the academic and lamented the lack of apprenticeships on offer. Charles also mentioned the Prince's Trust, his charity that teaches young people technical skills that they can use in the workplace. Now, I am quite a fan of Prince Charles. I can't believe Prince Charles, King Charles. Sorry. And I think he's really onto something. So I think the repair shop is absolutely lovely. And my idea, which I think he's onto, is we've all this stuff at home, right? And we don't want to throw it away. Why don't we have like repair shops on, you know, those disused shops that no one's using in the high street? Think of all the lovely old dads and granddads and the aunts and stuff that could do the sewing and the dads that could fix things. And it'd be a community centre. You could go and get your stuff repaired. It would be something for them to do. I think this idea of like repairing, skills, community, I think there's something in that.
Yeah, but you've also surely got, sorry, as the daughter of an engineer, I mean, my dad always said this, and he said the problem with Britain is we don't value people who make things. We value people who manipulate money and who gamble on other people's money. And the problem is that people who actually make things and who actually do things that, you know, in many ways people would say are constructive, they don't get paid enough, which is why, you know, when you go and, you know, we had a washing machine broke down and it was just the equivalent of a fan belt. But 60p on the, you know, but if you actually sort of, you speak to a plumber or whatever and they say it's 160 quid call-out fee, might as well buy a new one. So you just get rid of all this stuff.
Well, yeah, but you just said that people don't get paid enough who do things.
They don't get paid enough. No, they don't get paid enough because of the fact that to actually mend it and take the time, you know, if you can imagine how much, you know, if you're a hedge fund manager or whatever, you know, in 2 seconds you've made it.
I don't think they're very good at fixing a fan belt.
But this all started with Blair, wasn't it? The whole point was all this obsession with 50% going to university, and of course you rack up tons of debt and you get a useless degree, and it'd be much better if you went into vocational training and got a trade. And actually, have you noticed? Have you met a poor electrician or a poor plumber?
Well, you can never find one.
Exactly, that's the point.
Because the thing is that, you know, we also have been encouraged to live in a very throwaway society, you know. People don't keep cars for very long anymore because they're obsolete after 3 years and they start breaking down. Washing machines have a shelf life, you know, TVs, you know, suddenly they give you a brand new TV for half the price you paid for the last one, and it's 4 times as big. You know, nobody has anything that's old.
But isn't it interesting that we're all pretty much agreeing with King Charles on this and saying, you know, vacations are great and we shouldn't have this obsession with universities, and a lot of what he has done with the Prince's Trust was about, you know, helping kids find a skill, all that sort of thing. And yet the first thing that was said about what he said on this show, on the Repair Shop, is that it was a bit controversial, it was a bit too political, and of course he can't do that, and there was explained
but it was before he was king.
Exactly, it was explained that this was allowed because it was when it was filmed before he was king, when he was Prince of Wales, and there's a bit of me that I completely understand the point that he can't be political, but I also slightly regret the fact that he can't say things that he really believes.
It's like we've cancelled him. It's like it's been cancelled. And some of his views, particularly on cheese and talking to plants, are very welcome. I kind of think that, you know, I think that he's got a lot to offer. And I think there's a line to tread, right? There is a line between being overtly political, but you can be communitarian and make some quite helpful interventions about good things in society.
And maybe he will find that place, you know, and maybe he just doesn't want to do it straight away in case he just gets shouted at by lots of people because there's too many commentators and not enough people with brains.
Well, you mean commentators like us?
Yeah, definitely.
there's far too many of us.
Am I right in thinking that Tony Blair's son's is all about apprenticeships?
He has made a lot of money,
He's made a lot of money, so there is money to be made in apprenticeships and everything else. It's just that people have got to have it put out.
Yeah, but he's made all the money and the apprentices are making like
I did interview you and Blair about this, and he actually did a sort of agree, and he said, oh, you know, I didn't quite agree with my dad on that, and that's why apprenticeships are really important.